Most people will invest for years, do everything right, and quit 3 years before the money actually starts multiplying. Not because they ran out of money, not because they made a mistake, because they didn't know what phase they were in. By the end of this video, you will, and that single piece of knowledge is worth more than any stock tip you'll ever hear. There's a mathematical pattern called the 8-4-3 rule. It describes exactly when compounding kicks in, exactly when it accelerates, and exactly why the majority of investors abandon the process right at the worst possible moment. Once you see this pattern, you can't unsee it. And the people who understand it, the ones quietly building real wealth while everyone else complains that investing doesn't work, they all know this. Let's get into it right now. The 8-4-3 rule is not an official financial formula. It's a pattern, a map of how compound growth actually behaves in real time. And here's what it says. When you invest consistently at a market rate of return, your wealth builds in 3 distinct phases. Phase 1 takes 8 years. Phase 2 takes 4 years. Phase 3 takes 3 years. Each phase produces roughly the same amount of wealth, but the time required compresses dramatically with every phase. The returns you generate in year 14 match everything you generated across years 1 through 8 combined. Read that again. 1 year of late-stage compounding equals 8 years of early-stage grinding. Same money, same market, completely different output. That's the rule. Now let's see it in real numbers. Someone investing $500 per month, 12% average annual return, starting from zero. After 8 years, $65,000, they put in $48,000 themselves. The market added $17,000. If you showed someone that math before they started, they'd feel robbed. 8 years of discipline and the market only contributed $17,000 on top? That's less than 3 years of their own contributions. This is the phase where most people quit. They look at those numbers and decide compounding is a myth built for people who started rich. But here's where it gets interesting. 4 years later, $128,000. The account nearly doubled in just 4 years. In those 48 months, compounding added more than it did in the entire first 8 years. The returns for the year are now almost matching the annual contributions dollar for dollar. Something has shifted. The engine is no longer cold. Then 3 more years, $197,000. 3 years. The portfolio added $70,000 in 3 years more than it added in the first 8 years combined. Annual returns are now running well ahead of annual contributions. The investor is no longer the primary force behind their own wealth growth. Their money has taken over. 8 years. 4 years. 3 years. Same $500 every month the entire time. This is the pattern. This is what everyone misses. Now here's the part nobody explains. Why does the early phase feel so brutal? In phase 1, you are doing almost all the work. Your portfolio is small, so even a great return produces a small dollar amount. If your portfolio is $15,000 and the market returns 12%, that's $1,800 added for the year. Meanwhile, your contributions added $6,000. You're outworking your own money by a factor of 3. That's not a failure. That's math. The ratio just isn't in your favor yet. Phase 2 is the turning point. Returns start pulling equal weight alongside your contributions. You feel the shift before you can explain it. The account starts growing in ways that surprise you. This is the phase most people never reach because they quit somewhere in phase 1. Phase 3 is where it gets almost unfair. At $100,000 in the portfolio, a 12% return generates $12,000 annually, double what you're contributing. At $200,000, the returns generate $24,000. Your $6,000 in annual contributions are now a rounding error. You are not building your wealth anymore. Your wealth is building itself. That's the moment. The moment your money works harder than you do. Most people will never feel it. Not because it doesn't exist, because they stopped showing up before it arrived. If you're still watching, here's what you need to understand. You are now in the minority of people who actually know what phase they're in. Most investors have no map. They're driving blind, and when the road feels slow, they assume they're lost. You're not lost. Keep watching. Now let me show you 2 people. Same starting point, different ending. Priya, age 26, $4,500 a month, never missed a contribution. The first 6 years were quiet. Unremarkable account statements. Friends spending freely while she kept routing money into a portfolio that barely seemed to register her effort. She had doubts. She kept going anyway. Year 8, $65,000. Something felt different. The annual growth had become noticeable, not spectacular, but real. She was entering phase 2 without a name for what was happening. Year 12, $128,000. That jump felt almost disorienting. 4 years and the account nearly doubled. She started telling people about compounding and they half listened the way people do when something sounds too simple to be true. Year 15, $197,000. 3 years added more than the first 8 combined. Her portfolio now generates more in annual returns than she contributes in a year. She's not chasing growth anymore. Growth is chasing her. Daniel, same age, same $500 a month. He made it 6 years. His balance was around $50,000, and he couldn't take it anymore. The growth felt insulting compared to the time he'd spent. He told himself he'd restart when he earned more. He'd contribute bigger amounts and catch up faster. That felt logical. It felt responsible even. He never restarted. The $50,000 sat untouched. It compounded on its own with no new contributions for 9 more years. By age 41, it had grown to $155,000. That sounds okay until you hold it next to Priya's $197,000. With her portfolio now accelerating, with her money compounding on a base he'll never match, with the gap widening every single year from this point forward, not narrowing, he didn't lose because he made a bad investment. He lost because he quit in phase 1 and restarted in his head, but nowhere else. The restart never came. It almost never does. And every year he waited, the math got harder, not easier. That's the real cost of quitting early. It's not the contributions you stopped making. It's the compounding those contributions would have triggered across the next 2 decades. One more thing about market drops. When the market falls 20% in phase 1, your $500 contribution buys more shares at cheaper prices. Those discounted shares compound for 15, 20, 30 more years. A market crash during phase 1 is a sale on future wealth. The investor who kept buying through 2022's decline was handed a discount. The investor who stopped was just handed a loss. During phase 3, drops matter more because your base is larger. $300,000 dropping 15% is $45,000 gone in weeks. That's when diversification and discipline matter most. But in the early years, volatility is working for you. It's the market offering you more shares per dollar than you'd get on a calm day. Every drop in phase 1 is a gift. Most people experience it as a punishment. Now here's what your future self already knows. The investor at year 15 doesn't look back at year 3 with regret about their small balance. They look back with regret about every time they almost quit. Every time they almost moved that money into something else. Every time they thought the strategy wasn't working, because from where they stand, it worked exactly the way it was supposed to. The math delivered. The only variable was whether they stayed in long enough to receive what they'd already earned. Your future self is already rich on paper. The compounding is already locked in mathematically. You just can't see it yet because you're standing at the wrong point on the curve. Here's how to use the 8-4-3 rule practically right now. Multiply your current portfolio by 0.10. That's your approximate annual return. Compare it to your annual contributions. If contributions are more than double your returns, you're in phase 1. If they're close to equal, you're entering phase 2. If returns exceed contributions, you're in phase 3. That single comparison tells you exactly where you are on the map, and when phase 1 feels slow, because it will feel slow, you'll know it's not a problem. It's the pattern. It's exactly what the math predicted. Keep the money automated. Make it slightly inconvenient to withdraw. Set phase milestones and check your position every year, not every week, and stop measuring your success by the current balance. Measure it by which phase you're in and how close you are to the next one. Here's the final thing. Compounding is not a concept that rewards intelligence. It doesn't care how much you know about markets or economics or interest rates. It rewards one thing only: staying. The investors who end up in phase 3 are not the ones who found the best stocks or timed the market perfectly. They're the ones who were still there when the math finally showed its hand. Everyone who quit in phase 1 will spend the rest of their lives watching people like you talk about compounding and wondering if the math is real. It's real. They just never got close enough to feel it. The 843 rule isn't a shortcut. It's a map, and now you have it. The only question left is whether you'll still be investing when phase 3 arrives. Most people won't be. That's exactly why it works so well for the ones who are.